Australia's own Ange Postecoglou has done everything he possibly can at the Celtic Football Club. Now, the rumour's been flying around, and we're going to one of the Tottenham Hotspur experts. He's a super fan. He's got his own YouTube channel, Chris Cowlin. G'day, Chris. How are you?
Good day, Stephen. Good day, Tim. How are you? I'm good, thank you.
Very well. Now, it's been rumoured on your YouTube channel that you reckon you've just about stitched up Ange Postecoglou, and it's going to be for a couple of years. How close are we to that being true?
Well, Fabrizio Romano, who is the Italian journalist and transfer expert, he has just stated that Spurs are very close now to agreeing a 2-year deal with the Celtic boss. And the feeling is mixed amongst the Tottenham Hotspur fans. Some people are absolutely delighted with the news. Some people are not so delighted. They wanted a manager that has managed in European leagues. But when you look at his career, he's done everything amazingly well. Wherever he's gone, he's won trophies, he's been successful, he plays entertaining football. This is certainly what we want as Tottenham Hotspur fans right now, because ever since Pochettino was sacked 4 years ago, we've gone around in circles. We've hired 2 win-now managers, 2 very well-known, world-class managers. They haven't worked out. We haven't won a trophy in 15 years. Postecoglou, I think, would be a very good fit. He ticks a lot of boxes to come to Tottenham. But let me just say that the job at Spurs, no matter who takes this job, it is a huge job. They've got a hell of a job on their hands. There is so much to do. As I say, we haven't had entertaining football for the last few years. So many players need to go out the door. So many new players need to come in. Of course, managers, head coaches have had difficulties working with the board and Daniel Levy in the past. But this, hopefully, is a fresh start for the football club. And Postecoglou has done a fantastic job at Celtic. He couldn't have won any more than what he won this season. He's done a remarkable job. And I just hear so many people just say such fantastic things about him. So the doubters, I hope that the doubters are proved wrong by this appointment.
Yeah, Chris, you guys, I tell you what, what you just shaped there of what has to be done at Tottenham, and you 2 years is probably the maximum contract you get to do that in. It's not a long time, is it? And I know they do like sacking a manager over there. The thing about Ange is I think he got a similar welcome at Celtic. There was a lot of doubters upon him. A lot of people going, why did we get this bloke?
They called him Ange Postecoglou, no clue.
Yeah, correct. They really ripped into him early. Oh, they are funny, Chris. But he ended up doing the job despite that. So I think you've got faith that this bloke is pretty tough and pretty resilient.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of Celtic fans, I've been messaged by a lot of Celtic fans, particularly through the night, stating that, don't doubt this guy. Some of us doubted him, but he has done a remarkable job for us. And a lot of Celtic fans are extremely unhappy and disappointed and upset right now to lose him. But with it being a 2-year deal, it does worry me slightly. And I think the fact that Ange's 57 years old, I think if he was 47, I think people would be more excited. But I just don't feel that he's had that break, to be managing in one of the top leagues in Europe. That is the thing I think people are most sceptical about, because a lot of people, certainly in the UK, have the attitude of, well, there's only 2 teams really in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers, and if you go to one of those clubs, the chances are you're going to win anyway. But he has done a good job wherever he's gone. As I've said, he's won in Australia, he's won in Japan, he's won in Scotland, and of course he's won for your national team as well. But a 2-year appointment, I think that the project at Tottenham is so big. Yeah. I think it's going to have to be longer than 2 years, but it's probably a good starting point for the club, to see how the club get on with him, to see how he gets on with the club. But I just hope that this is a successful appointment for the club. And bearing in mind as well, back in 2014, Spurs hired Mauricio Pochettino, who of course took Spurs to the Champions League final in 2019. That appointment at that time wasn't seen as super exciting for a lot of fans. It's probably the same sort of mood as it is now. And it's funny because I put out on Twitter a couple of days ago, do you think Postecoglou will be successful at Spurs? and the options were yes, no, or unsure. And it was pretty much a 33% split down the line.
Wow.
So everybody is very unsure about what direction the club needs to go in, what appointment. It's a bit of a mess for the club at the moment, and they're, as I said earlier, the to-do list is so huge. This is a huge job for anybody, but I do like his straight-talking, no-nonsense attitude, and that's probably what we need at Tottenham.
Yeah.
And as I also touched on, the entertainment factor, we know that he brings entertaining football, and we haven't had that under Jose Mourinho, Nuno Espirito Santo, Antonio Conte. Hopefully he will bring the entertainment.
Chris, he doesn't suffer fools. It's his way or the highway, and it might be exactly what the Spurs need. Someone in there to kick it fair in the guts, because you've been the perennial underachievers. Who's the snoozer Chris Dearman that you had on your YouTube the other day? Who's he?
Craig Dearman. He's a channel regular.
Oh, okay. God, he's a bit disrespectful. He called it bloody fish football. He doesn't know who Ange Postecoglou in. From me, can you tell him to get stuffed? Because Ange is going to go there and rock your boat, Chris, and you're gonna ring me back in 2 years and go, Rowie, you told us, and you're right. This bloke's a winner, Chris, and you guys don't know what a winner looks like.
Well, the thing is, I think that because a lot of people, certainly Premier League fans, certainly Tottenham fans, I think that Postecoglou is probably an unknown name to most Tottenham Hotspur fans. But when you do the research, when you look at his career, I can always pick out the positives in everybody and in everything. And there are so many positives here. I just feel like Postecoglou needs that break in a big league to see how he gets on. Yeah, but I think that the start of his career at Tottenham is going to be absolutely vital, because the doubters, I just hope that he shuts the doubters up very, very quickly by winning, and by entertaining in the Premier League as well. But I think it's a great start that, of course, we start our summer tour in Perth, Australia. So, of course, he will get a great reception there.
Yeah, well done, Chris. Thanks for your time.
Brilliant, Chris. Thanks, mate.
Tottenham superfan Chris Cowlin. You can Google him on YouTube, and you'll hear Craig Dearman. Not a fan.
No, you're not. No,
the bloke hasn't got the job. He's not even there yet. This bloke's potting him from the cheap seats.
That's why they sacked about 13 managers out of 20 this year. Right. They're brutal. Absolutely brutal.